everyone, welcome to our final exam presentation for intermediate grammar. Our topic is stepping the 5 stairs B, constructing, defining and non-defining clauses. Before we begin, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Elsa Octavia.
My name is Kezia Nurul Nazwa.
My name is Lila.
My name is Naduraini.
My name is Naila Aulia Putri.
So let's start the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Before we begin the main discussion, let's move on the introduction of our project. Communication is an important part of our everyday life. We use communication to share ideas, information, and opinions with others. To communicate effectively, we need to express our thoughts clearly and accurately. One way to make our sentence more informative is by using relative clauses. Relative clauses help us add extra information and connected idea within a sentence, making our communication clear and more meaningful. In this project, we will discuss defining clauses, non-defining clauses, relative pronouns, and the application on the stepping the 5-stair D approach. Now, let's move on the objective of this project. Next, project objective. This project was designed to help you understand how relative clauses are used in English grammar. The first objective is to understand defining clauses. By learning defining clauses, we can identify important information that is necessary to understand a sentence. The second objective is to understand non-defining clauses. These clauses provide additional information that make a sentence more informative. Another objective is to apply the stepping the 5-stair D approach. This approach helps us construct relative clauses step by step in a systematic way. We also learn how to use relative pronouns correctly when building sentence. In addition, this project helps us improve our communication skill through sentence construction and presentation activities. Through this project, we learn not only grammar concepts but also how to apply them in real communication situation. Now that we have discussed the objective of this project, let's move on to our first topic, which is defining clauses. Defining clauses is a relative clauses that provide essential information about a noun. Without this information, the meaning of the sentence may be unclear. For example, the student who won the competition is my friend. In this sentence, the clause who won the competition tells us exactly which student is being discussed. If we remove this clause, we will not know which student the speaker is referring to. Therefore, defining clauses are important because they help make sentence more specific and clear. Next, now let's move on the topic, which is non-defining clauses. Non-defining clauses is a relative clause that provides additional information about a noun that is already known. For example, Mr. Ahmad, who teaches English, is very friendly. Even if we remove the clause, the sentence still has a complete meaning because we already know who Mr. Ahmad is. That is why non-defining clauses are considered additional information and are usually separated by commas. Now that we understand the difference between defining and non-defining clauses, let's move on the importance of sentence expansion in English communication. Sentence expansion is the process of adding information to a sentence to make it more specific, informative, and meaningful. For example, the woman is teacher. The clause who teacher English makes the sentence more specific because it clearly identifies which woman is being discussed. As a result, the sentence becomes clear and more effective in communication.
Hi everyone, today I am going to explanation of G1, which cover defining clause and relative pronouns. Let's start with section defining clause. Put simply, defining clause is a relative clause that gives essential, most no information about a noun. It has two main functions. First, it makes the information much more specific. Second, it helps us clearly identify exactly which person or thing we are talking about, so there's no confusion. There are three key characteristics you should remember about defining clause. The first, they always provide crucial information. Two, we never use commas around them. Three, they cannot be omitted or dropped from the sentence. If you take them out, the sentence won't make sense anymore or will lose its core meaning. Okay. Next, the relative pronouns. Moving on the section, to link this clause to the noun, we add specific pronouns. On this slide, we are looking at two commas one. First, we have who. We ask who exclusively for people. For example, the student who studies hard get good grades. How we connect the extra info directly to the student. The second, we have that. This one is more versatile because it can be used for both people and things. For example, the book that I bought is interesting. In this case, that refers to the books. Next, subject relative pronouns. Finally, let's look at section. A subject relative clause happens when the relative pronoun itself actually functions as the subject that clause. Let's look at the example. The student who studied hard get good grades. If we break this down, the word who refers directly to the student. At some time inside that specific clause, who acts as the subject doing the action, which is studying hard, because it takes the place of the subject. We call it a subject relative pronoun. The defining clause 1 or G1. In this part, we will analyze two sentences using the 5 steps structure and the SBD factor to understand how defining clause work. But sentence: the boy who plays football every weekend is my neighbor. Okay. The sentence: the boy who plays football every weekend is my neighbor. In P1, the boy verb is. In P2, my neighbor, predicat skip, NPT skip, and SBD structure. Who next plays football. Next skip. Next every weekend. Complete sentence: the boy who plays football every weekend is my neighbor. Okay. Next sentence: the girl that sings beautifully is my best friend. In P1, the girl's verb is. And P2, my best friend, predicat adjective skip, MPT skip, SBD structure that's next sing, next beautifully, next skip. Complete sentence: the girl that sing beautifully is my best friend. Now, I will explain the sentence transformation D1. First, we have to separate a sentence. First, the boy is my neighbor. The second, he plays football every weekend. The first sentence tells us about the boy. The second sentence gives additional information about the some boy. Combined sentence. To avoid repetition, we combine the two sentences into one sentence using a relative pronoun. The boy who plays football every weekend is my neighbor. This sentence sounds more natural and gives complete information in one sentence. Analyze one omitted repetition. First, I look at the two original sentences. The pronoun he in the second sentence refer to the boy in the first sentence. Because they refer to the same person, I removed he to avoid repetition. 2. Relative pronoun. After removing he, I use the relative pronoun who to connect the two sentences. I choose who because the antecedent, the boy is a person. 3. Grammatical function. In the relative clause, who play football every weekend, the word who function as the subject because it performs the action play football. 4. Structure of the sentence. The sentence consists of three parts. The boy, antecedent, who play football every weekend, defining relative clause is my neighbor, my clause. The relative clause gives additional information about the boy. The last 5, meaning the sentence means that the boy who plays football every weekend is my neighbor. The relative clause helps us identify exactly which boy is being discussed, not just any boy. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Today I would like to explain the two which is not defining clause and the stepping the 5-star method. A non-defining clause gives extra information about a person or thing that is already clear. This information is not essential and can be removed without changing the main meaning of the sentence. And next, definition of non-defining clause. A non-defining relative clause provides additional information about a noun that has already been identified. And the example, my brother who lives in Jakarta is a doctor. And the explanation, my brother, and non-defining clause, who lives in Jakarta. Extra information and only. And is a doctor, the main meaning is this clear. Okay, next, function and information. They are the function of a non-defining clause. First, to add extra information about a person or thing. Second, to make a sentence more informative. And third, to give additional detail without changing the main meaning. And example, Michelle who won the scholarship is studying in America. Additional information and the clause who won the scholarship only gives extra information about the Michelle is studying in America. Okay, next, and now let's see how this sentence, Lina who won the scholarship comes from America. Okay.
one. Come is come. Her. MP2 skip. MPT from America. And SBD who. Style 2 1. Style 3 the scholarship. And the start 5 skip. Okay, and the sentence is Rina who won the scholarship comes from America. Rina MP1 is confirmed, MP2 skip, MPT from America, SBD who. Start 2 1, style 3 the scholarship, and style 5 and skip. Okay, and next the structure which, and the example is, sentence. Okay. The scholarship which was awarded to Rina come from America. And which, and it's who. Okay, and the structure, the empty ones, the structure and the empty one, the scholarship. And the verb comes. And the MPT from America. And T2 skip. SPD which. Star 2 was awarded. And the star 3 to Rina. And the star 5 and the 6. Okay, that's for me, and thank you your attention. And next, I will explain the rules of non-defining clause. There are some important rules for non-defining clause. First, we must ask commas. And second, we usually ask two relative pronouns who, whom, and which. Who, whom, and which. And third, we do not ask that is non-defining clause. Do not ask
that. For example, Rina, who won the scholarship, comes from America. Without the clause, Rina comes from America, the sentence is still clear. Okay? And next, defining and versus non-defining. And now let's compare a defining and non-defining clause. Defining clause gives important information and does not ask the commas. And for the sample, the student who won the scholarship come from America. Defining. The student who won the scholarship come from America, and the student who won the scholarship come from America, no comma, important information and cannot be removed. And next example, a non-defining. Rina, comma, who won the scholarship, comma, and comes from America. Non-defining clauses. Rina, who won the scholarship, come from the America. Use comma and extra information and can be removed. The clause can be removed because we already know who Rina is. Okay, thanks all my explanation about D2 or non-defining clause. Thank you for your attention.
So now I would like to explain the three, which discuss relative pronouns, object relative clause, and possessive relative clause. For the first, what is relative pronouns? Relative pronouns are words used to join to relate sentence. And by using relative pronouns, our sentence becomes shorter, clearer, and more effective because we avoid repeating the same information. There are three relative pronouns discussed in this section. The first one is whom. We use whom to replace an object or a person who function as an object in a sentence. For example, in sentence is the man whom I met yesterday is a pillar. The word whom refers to the man. And the function as the object of the verb meet. And the second one is whose. We use whose to show possession or ownership. For example, the girl whose father is a doctor is my friend. In this sentence, whose shows a relationship between the girl and her father. And the third one is which. We use which to replace things or animals. For example, the book which I bought is interesting. And here which refers to book. And now let's move to the object relative clause. And I have sentence this one. The man is a pilot. I met him yesterday. Because both sentences talk about the same person, we can combine them into one sentence. This is the combined sentence. The man whom I met yesterday is a pillar. And how is this sentence formed? First, we remove repeated word him, because this is him, because it refers to the man, this one. And second, we replace it with the relative pronouns whom. We use whom in this sentence. And as a result, we get the man whom I met yesterday is a pillar. Grammatically, whom function as the object because it retrieves the action of the verb meet. This meet. And the meaning of the sentence is the sentence identifies which man we are talking about, and it means the man that I met yesterday is a pillar. And this is for the explanation. And I have the styles in this projector, and I have the sentence, this one. The man whom I met yesterday is a pillar. In NP1, we start to the man, and the stage 2. We use the copula is because copula is MR, for example, and the complement this is a pillar. Because we don't have MBT, we just skip. And for the first one, for the disease, we start is subordinating conjunction. This is start to this womb. We just in SBD, we just use whom or whose or who or that and which. In the stage 2, we write is I. And the stage 3, meet. And for the last, and this one just skip. And for the last stage, this is MPT. Yesterday. So this is stage 5 for the object relative clause. And so first we have two simple sentences. The first sentence is the man is a pillar. The second sentence is I met him yesterday. And both sentences talk about the some person, which is the man, talk about man. And to combine the two sentences, we omit the word him because refers to the man, or the omit. And we do not need to mention the same person twice. And as a result, we get the sentence, the man whom I met yesterday is a pillar. And in this sentence, when function as the object of the verb meet. And for the question, whom did I meet yesterday? The answer is the man. And the meaning is, sentence is that the man I meet yesterday is a pillar. Now let's move to the possessive relative clause. And we have two simple sentences. The first one is the girl is my friend. The second sentence is her father is a doctor. And the word here refers to the girl. Here for girl. And to avoid repetition, we omit the word. Here is omit because it refers to the girl. And replace it with the relative pronouns whose. We use whose. And the relative pronouns whose is used to show possession, and it means that the father belongs to or is related to the girl. For this one, the girl, the whose replace her. And after combining the two sentences, we get the girl whose father is a doctor is my friend. And the meaning of the sentence is identifies which girl we are talking about. And For the grammatical function, whose shows possession, and it means that the father belongs to the girl. And it means the combined sentence is the girl whose father is a doctor is my friend. And now I want to explain for the 5 stairs. For the MP1, we start to the girl. The girl for MP1, non-phrase 1. For the copula, we use is because copula, where I explanation before that, copula is MR, and complement for this, my friend, my friend. So for MPT we just skip, and for SVD, we start from whose. Is whose. In stage 2, we write this father. For the stage 3, we write this is a doctor. So this is for the stairs in possessive relative clause. The combined sentence is the girl whose father is a doctor is my friend. Now let's move to the summary. For this, before I finish, I would like to summarize the main points of the 3. First, we learn object relative clause sentence. In the sentence, the man whom I met yesterday is a pillow. The word him for omit repetition is refers to the man. Refers to the man. Wait. Him refers to the man. And then it is replaced by relative pronouns. We use whom for the sentence. And the pronoun whom function as an object, whom for the object of the verb me. And this relative clause help us identify exactly which man we are talking about. The meaning is the man I met yesterday is a pillar. Next, I explain about the possessive relative clause. For the possessive relative clause, the sentence is the girl whose father is a doctor is my friend. In the sentence, the word her is omit and replaced by use. The omit repetition is her. We replace by use. Her is for the girl. And unlike whom, the relative pronoun whose is used to show possession. The function for the possessive is show possession. And it tells us that the father belongs to or is related to the girl. This relative clause helps us identify which girl is being discussed. The meaning is the girl's father is a doctor. And for the conclusion, whom is used to replace an object. Whom for object. For example, him, her, and them. And whose we use to replace a possessive word. For example, his, her, their. And which is used to replace things or an animal. And by using relative clause, We can combine two simple sentence into one sentence and avoid repetition. As a result, our sentence become clear, more informative, and more effective in communication. So that's all for me, and thank you.
Hello everyone! Welcome to our podcast, and today we are going to discuss a topic that is very close to all. The title is People Who Influence Our Lives. Everyone has someone who inspire, support, and helps them grow into a better person. These people can be our parents, teacher, friends, or family members. Before we begin, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Elsa Octavia. I am host.
My name is Naila Aulia Putri. My name is Mila.
My name is Tanuraini. My name is Kezia Nuranazwa.
And thank you everyone. Let's start our discussion with a simple question. And the first question, who is the person who has influenced your life the most and why? The first one is Naila. Would you like to begin?
And sure, the person who has influenced my life the most is my mother, who always support me in everything I do. She is someone whose advice always follow because she understands me very well. Whenever I face difficult, she listen to me and give me encouragement that help me stay positive. One thing that I admire about her is her patience. She is a person who never gives up when life becomes difficult. Because of her, I have learned values that help me become more responsible and confident.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think mothers are often the people who teach you first lesson in life. Kezia, what about you?
For me, the person who influenced my life is my English teacher. She is a teacher who encouraged me to believe in myself. When I was younger, I was a student who was afraid of speaking English in public because I was worried about making mistakes. However, my teacher created a classroom environment which made students feel comfortable and confident. She often shares stories that inspire to that keep learning. Because of her encouragement, I become more confident in experience my idea.
That's good. And what about you, Milan?
I can relate to that. Teachers are people who can have a big impact on our life. For me, the person who influenced me the most is my father. He is someone whose hard work inspire me every day. My father worked long hard to support our family, and he always reminds me that success comes to people who are willing to work hard. The lesson that he teach me are not only about studying but also about responsibility and discipline.
That's a great point. Sometimes the people close to us teach reason that stay with us for a lifetime. And Mila, who influenced your life the most?
For me, it's my best friend who I have known since junior high school. She is a friend who always support me when I face challenge. Whenever I feel stressed or discouraged, she is the person whom I can talk to comfortably on quality that I admire most in her: kindness, her positive attitude, which inspires everyone around her, help me become a better person as well.
Oh, good. I think it's amazing how friends can influence you in positive ways. And for me, the person who influenced me the most is my older sister. She is someone whose determination motivates me whenever I like giving up. And she is a person who always encourages me to keep trying whenever I feel like, even when
Things are difficult, and whenever I have problems, she gives me advice that helps me situation from a different perspective. Because of her, I have learned that failure is not the end but chance to improve.
After listening to everyone, I noticed that the people who influence us the most are usually the people close to us. They don't have to be famous or successful. They are simple people who care about us and support us.
I agree. Many people admire celebrities or public figures, but I think the people who truly shape our life are often our family members, teacher, and friend. They are people whose action inspire us every day.
Oh, that's true. For example, my father is someone whom I respect greatly because of his dedication. His action teach me lesson that no textbook can teach.
And my friend has shown me the importance of friendship. She is someone who stays beside me during both good and difficult times. That is sometimes which I will always appreciate.
Yes, your answer is really good. Before we end our discussion, let's each share one lesson that we learn from the people who influence us. And Naila?
I learned that kindness and patience can make a big difference in someone's life.
And what you guys share?
If I learned that confidence grow when we have people who encourage to us to keep learning.
And for you, Intan?
I learned that hard work and discipline are important qualities for success.
And Mila?
I learned that true friends are people who support us no matter what happens.
And for me, I learned that determination is the key to overcoming challenges. So from today's discussion, we can see that the people who influence our lives help shape our character, value, and goals. They are people who inspire us, who support, strengthens, and whom we respect and appreciate. Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoy our discussion and found it meaningful. And see you next time.
So next, I will explain pantun. Birds are singing every day. Children love and run to play. A student will study every day will achieve success along the way. A student who studies every day will achieve success along the way. In this pantun, we use who because it refers to a person which is a student. The clause who studies every day. Describe and identify the student. Therefore, it is a defining clause.
Pantun, rose bloom beside and the light, birds are singing in the sky. The gift that you gave unto me make me happy every day. The gift that you gave to me make me happy every day. In this pantun, we ask that because it refers to a thing which is the gift, the cause that you gave to me in the identifies which gift is being discussed. Therefore, that function as a relative pronoun and introduce defining clause.
Next, I will explain pantun. The flower bloom beside the way. The bird sings sweetly every day. A garden which is full of cheer makes everyone feel welcome here. A garden which is full of cheer makes everyone welcome here. In this pantun, we use which because it refers to a thing which is a garden. The clause which is full of cheer gives additional information to identify the garden. Therefore, it is a defining clause.
Next to another pantun, the stars shine brightly in the sky. The birds above are flying high. A friend whom I can trust never be. Stay by my side and leave behind. A friend whom I can trust never be. Stay by my side and leave behind.
Explanation. In this pantun, we ask whom because it refers to a person and function as an object. In the clause, whom I can personally, the final save the action of the verb trust. Therefore, it is an object relative clause.
In the last pantun, the river runs across the lake, clear water washes golden sail. A mother whose love is always green supports me with a caring hand. And this part, a mother whose love is always green support me with a caring hand. In this pantun, we use whose because it shows possession. The phrase whose love is always grand means that the love belongs to the mother. Therefore, whose function as a possessive relative and introduce a defining clauses.
Next, I'm going to present comparison method plus reflection. Relative pronoun plus stepping the 5-star D. We are going to present our topic about relative pronoun. We will compare two methods, traditional grammar explanation and stepping the 5-star D. Traditional grammar focus on formula, the grammar rules and formula. Student memorize pattern and example. Very easier for explaining theory, less visual and less interactive. Which is good for theory but less interactive. Meanwhile, stepping the 5-star D is a systematic 5-step technique that help students create complex sentences more easily. Next, similarities and difference. Let's look the similar and difference. For the similar, both methods teach English grammar, teach relative pronoun like who, whom, whose, which, and that, and help us make complex sentences. For the difference, traditional grammar is teacher-centered and focused on formula. On the other hand, stepping the 5-star D is student-centered and interactive. It uses a visual star model to analyze the sentence part step by step. Next, advantage, disadvantage, and conclusion. The advantage of the stepping 5-star D is that it's more visual. It helps us understand sentence structure clearly. On the other hand, the advantage of traditional grammar is that it explains real quickly. It is easy for teaching theory. However, disadvantage of traditional grammar is that it's less visual. This makes it difficult for students visually that sentence. In conclusion, stepping the 5-star D is better because it's more visual and interactive for learning grammar. Next. And finally, this is our reflection. First, we learn how to make defining and non-defining clause. Second, our challenge with choosing the right relative pronoun. And third, our grammar improved because we can combine simple sentence into complex sentence. Fourth and fifth, our speaking and pronunciation improved through discussion and video recording. Lastly, we suggest using stepping the 5-star D in future grammar class because it is very effective. Thank you for attention.
Let's move the conclusion. Finally, this project has helped us understand defining clauses, non-defining clauses, relative pronouns, and stepping the five-step approach. We also learned how to transfer simple sentence into more detailed and meaningful sentence by using relative clause. This makes our sentence clear and more informative in communication. In addition, this project improves our grammar, speaking, pronunciation, and communication skills. Through practice and presentation, we become more confident in construction and using English sentence correctly. Overall, relative clauses are very important in English because they help us communicate ideas more clearly, accurately, and effectively. They allow us to add essential or additional information in a structured way so that our sentences become more complete and easier to understand. Okay, thank you for your attention.
That is the end of our presentation. Thank you for attention and for watching our presentation. We hope you enjoy and found it useful. Thank you very much and have a nice day.